Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 for the G1 League qualifiers. We're in round 1 right now, watching Sequential Gaming face off against Make Dream in a best out of 3. This is game number 2 of the series. In game number 1, Sequential Gaming took it in commanding fashion. It was a very slow, kind of frustrating game, I think, for them at times. Just very hard to breach that Tinker March machine spam, that turtling power, but eventually they did it, and they did so with a massive goal and experience lead. I am LD, and joining me, of course, is godz. Together we are David and David, and godz, that game one. At times, it was a little painful to watch. The Tinker just so annoying when a team is trying to finish the game. But here we are, game 2, and we'll see. What were your thoughts on that game? Make Dream. We talked about the lone druid not getting farm. Was that the big issue for you, or what else do you think Make Dream maybe could have done differently?
I think individually they played it fine. I mean, Lone Druid did the best he could. He was using that bear to pull the creep wave continuously. He had some good control. The solo mid invoker completely actually beat a TA, something which should not happen. I think the big issue was the roaming supports. If their supports had done a bit better, successfully got some kills, maybe just use the bottom lane to get some XP and also use some creep pulls to get farm, then Lone Druid would have had a better time. Sure, those heroes weren't in his lane, were completely somewhere else on the map, but because SK and Leshrac fell so far behind, it made it so hard to give space for Lone Druid to have a farm. And I think for Make Dreams, the key thing here is they can't afford to have under-leveled supports, and that's something which you really see the top teams making sure of. They'll continuously use those pools, abuse them at times, and just use whatever pools they can to make sure supports are getting some farm and decent levels. And I think that's the main area where Make Dream need to improve upon. This is game number 2, though. This is it's a weird bracket format. If you lose this, you're out of this qualifier. You need to win to get through to the second round. But once you win once, you have 2 shots. Either you have to win the round 2 match, or if you lose that, you get put into sort of a loser bracket final to qualify. And Make Dream, what are they going to come up with here?
Well, speaking of turtling heroes, here's another one who can do it. It's the Prophet being picked up. First picked, in fact. Honestly, not something we see much of. This is a hero that he's been picked here and there since the patch changes, but pretty easy to kill in the laning stage if you catch him out. And a hero that doesn't really hit his stride, I feel, until the mid-game. So we haven't seen much of him. Sequential Gaming secure a Tidehunter and a Rubik. Great team fight for them. Great, already a decent game to pick up Rubik, stealing things like Teleport, the Treants, and of course the Prophet ult will be very powerful. Broodmother to spread out the map, so they're going to counter Make Dream split push, their pushing potential with some of their own. And I like this choice here. The Queen of Pain being picked up by Make Dream does give a lot of potentially great spells towards a hero like Rubik, but I felt they needed just a hero that could really be aggressive and create some space for their other farmers. They had the Tinker who got a lot of farm, they had the Invoker who got a decent amount of farm, and really did okay versus TA, like you said, but I just felt like Sequential Gaming they were never being threatened. They never really felt like they had to run from anything, and Queen of Pain is a hero that can make you a little bit afraid to leave your base, leave your towers, if she gets a decent start.
Yeah, it's a good hero to create that space for your teammates. Last game we saw Invoker, but Invoker just kind of can't really provide the backup, doesn't move around the map as well. Only really offers those Sunstrikes, but Sanking and Leshrac weren't really in a position to set up too many kills that game. So this game, Queen of Pain, a hero who can sort of make space, make stuff happen on her own. They've got a strong support in the Leshrac once again. They've got the Nature's Prophet, who's versatile in that he can jungle, he can play in that side lane as solo as well. And it'll be interesting to see how Make Dream want to get these last 2 heroes. They kind of need some AoE kind of stuns, need some crowd control. So we'll maybe see them looking at heroes with some disables here.
Yeah, as far as that goes, who's available? Sand King has been banned out. That's Leshrac's best friend as of late.
Yeah.
It used to be the Shadow Demon, but just not a hero we see much of anymore. Kind of interesting how that's happened. But yeah, I mean, who else is on the board that they could look towards? Prophet could be thrown into that offlane, could be their jungler. They ran the Lone Druid offlane, and Prophet's a very similar kind of offlane, just using your minions to pull the wave back. The one thing he can do that Lone Druid can't is show up in other lanes, whether it's to push or gank. He's a hero who can have an impact across the map. Lone Druid really has a more limited sphere of influence, more late game or mid game carrying potential, generally speaking, less item dependent than the Prophet, but not as mobile. So Prophet and Queen of Pain, like you said, great at setting up those kills. I don't know. I mean, who do you go towards here? There's a Beastmaster in the pool. I don't know if he fits into their lanes. Enigma's in the pool, but if they pick an Enigma, that is 4 very squishy heroes, and Ravage Fade Bolt kind of murders them.
Yeah, I mean, all the heroes I'm looking down at sqL Abandon. I mean, DK and Sanking were the first 2 that come to mind. Both have been banned out. Interesting. They banned the Tinker. I think that's more because they didn't have much fun versing it last game. I don't think it's a hero Make Dream would have considered picking up here. It would have been very heavy turtle, and they wouldn't have really had much carry potential because there'd be Tinker, Queen of Pain, Prophet, a lot of sort of farm heavy heroes, a lot of greedy heroes. And I think Make Dream, maybe they go for some kind of a hard carry here even. They can pick up something like even an anti-mage and go for it at some sort of an
No,
anti-mage
he's
trial.
actually banned
Oh,
out.
oh, never mind. What am I talking about? First stage of bans, anti-mage gone. Okay, so no hard carry anti-mage. And yeah, I think they're quite limited. The DK ban limits their sort of semi-carry potential as well. And as far as crowd control goes, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Beastmaster may be the best option, although the lanes will maybe struggle. It may have to be a suicide Beastmaster, Nature's Prophet in the jungle.
One area of concern for Make Dream is how do they lane against the Broodmother? Queen of Pain is alright against her with Scream of Pain, but you're not going to shut her down. And frankly, she just won't have the mana or the sustainability to support Scream of Pain spin. And without constant Bottle Crow up against the Broodmother, plus she looks to be their solo mid as far as the draft goes thus far. I don't know who lanes against Brood. That's another question I have for Make Dream. Brewmaster's the pick. This is a hero we have seen lane against Brood with especially with the Soul Ring Tranquil Boots build. Something a lot of the Southeast Asian teams have done in the past. Not sure if they're gonna do it this game. Leshrac Brewmaster, you can run any sort of dual lane and will probably be decent against her. They don't really have an initiation stun per se. Brewmaster once he gets a blink is a fantastic initiator, but before he does, I'm not sure how Make Dream really starts a fight unless Sequential Gaming jump into one. If he gets the blink quickly, though, if he gets it in farming in the safe lane, then that will make things look a little bit better. So right now, looking like a Prophet off lane, a Queen of Pain mid, Leshrac, Brewmaster in the safe lane, and then probably a third support. They could run a Jungle Prophet and another off lane. But Jungle Prophet in this game, there aren't that many easy kills. Puck difficult to kill, Broodmother difficult to kill. Rubik will probably be tucked away solo mid, and Tidehunter naturally tanky. I'm not sure jungling him is going to do too much.
I'm torn here because if they're running Nature's Prophet offlane with Queen of Pain mid, Brewmaster bottom, they need damage, and offlane Nature's Prophet's going to struggle to get much farm here. They do go with the Jakiro, so there's your support, and it does. Yeah, Nature's Prophet offline, and they're going to need some sources of damage, and that's not really going to be coming from the Brewmaster. He's more the setup here. So the Queen of Pain, if solo mid, is going to have to have a very, very big game here. Mirana hero, haven't seen much of Mirana at all in a long, long time, but it's a fun hero to watch, especially, the only team I've seen really use it has been Complexity when Fluff has played that as sort of the support Mirana.
Oh, this pick, I feel Twin-Headed Dragon is situationally possibly the strongest support in the game right now with the changes to Icy Path. It's a Fissure with, basically a Fissure with 75 mana cost, a much lower cooldown, and he's an intelligence hero, very naturally tanky. Gives you a decent amount of anti-push to deal with the Brood. This is a hero I really like. But to respond to your Mirana point, pretty good game for Mirana. There's no real lockdown on this team. Nothing reliable, although the Icy Path maybe gives you some. But Leap should be very powerful. I wonder how they're going to lane this. They have 3 heroes who could be in the off lane. And it's going to be interesting to see what Sequential Gaming does. Let's introduce them quickly as we get underway here. K Phoenix playing the Puck. Cucks on the Broodmother. T-Duck handling the Tidehunter. And Vodkey playing the Rubik. That looks to be a support Rubik, and it makes sense with this lineup. Pretty much needs to, I suppose. Smoke of the Sea and the Courier picked up, and finally the captain Fumoffu playing the Mirana. So what are our lanes looking like? Broodmother, Poor Man Shield picked up, probably going to the off lane, then expected a lot of harassment. Phoenix, I guess, going mid, and then a tri lane with the Mirana for Sequential Gaming.
Yeah, it does look like the solo mid pack, something not seen in a while, but it's a fun thing to watch. And over on the Make Dream sides, we have got Aaron playing the Brewmaster. Actually going to be soloing the mid lane. He's going for that fast bottle. He should match up pretty well against the Puck. They'll be probably trading a lot of farm. Brewmaster will have the bottle to sustain himself. We've got Summer playing that Jakiro, the support. We've got June H playing the Queen of Pain, and sitting at the fountain, we've got Jessica on the Leshrac and Loneliness playing that Nature's Prophet. So interesting to see how they lane this. It looks like Jakiro still lurking around the middle lane. I mean, Nature's Prophet, sort of the likely candidate for that off lane, actually buys the Courier for his team. So maybe sort of a semi-support / jungling Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, he's definitely a hero who can support. And the nice thing about Nature's Prophet is if he gets any kind of an opening, whether it's getting a couple kills, a tower getting knocked down, he will be able to catch up quite easily in the mid game. Now, the downside is if he's having a rough game, he doesn't do much for your team until he gets his ult up, until he gets some levels and items. Whereas a hero like Crystal Maiden or Venomancer or any one of the other more standard supports we see can contribute more just through their abilities. Off-lane Queen of Pain facing off against a Rubik. Great hero to initiate on her. And then Arrow to follow up. I'm not sure how much success Jessica's going to have on this bottom lane, as long as the tri-lane is here, it will be very difficult. And it looks like T-Duck is angling for lane ward. Believe it was not spotted. It might have just been inside the fog when he placed that one.
Yep, and Jessica going to do some little demon-style blinking around. Finds himself in some trees where he hopefully doesn't get found. Just going to try leech XP here at the bottom lane. And similar to what we saw T-Duck doing last game, although completely different spot. And it will probably work out for him. He's only up against a dual lane here, so he can actually somewhat compete for last hits. Although Vodka's just going to be looking to sort of zone him out of the lane as much as possible. T-Duck decides, okay, let's go top, maybe.
I think he's warding.
Yeah, he'll probably want to just do some pulls maybe at the bottom lane, because he can't really help out mid or top much, so I guess the best thing is going to be either stacking camps, neutral pulling, as bottom lane Vodka alone can push the Queen of Pain out of the lane.
Farming Leshrac, something we haven't seen much of recently. Summer with the DD rune, very scary here to lane up against. Sentry Ward already placed for the Dire, so they do have vision of this Broodmother. Probably want to hit level 2 before they look to make a go. I feel they could definitely kill her off once these heroes get level 2, the Leshrac and the Twin Head Dragon. So Make Dream doing a lot of pulling already. Bottom lane, Jessica, I think they know what's up. Vodka pings onto him, wants to go. Jessica blinked into this, tangoing through, trying to find him, and just missing him. Oh, just barely. I guess you can't get vision there. No, he's going to. He finds Jessica. There is a blink away, but T-Duck is waiting to cut him off. Where's that gush? No, gets fogged. And Jessica's already created a path out for himself. The arrow hitting a creep from the sounds of it. Now the gush comes out. Jessica just being driven back off the lane. Meanwhile, Cucks, they want to go on him, but for the moment, he's getting a little bit more out of this suicide lane.
Yeah, he's getting slightly more XP, a last hit, and the Queen of Pain, nothing so far. And it's going okay for Cucks, because he can also pull, well, he can't actually pull this camp here, but he can contest this pull coming. He can get a couple of these neutrals here if Jakira isn't there to stop and do so. And, I mean, he's getting a lot more XP than Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain doing the smart thing, which is stack the Ancients, though.
Yeah, and you know, actually stacking them. Sometimes we'll see heroes like Windrunner just farm the Ancients and not try to stack them. Get some consistent levels instead of angling more for the mid game, where you can really get a big burst of experience. But stacking them up, like you mentioned, 0 experience on her, 1 creep's worth, it looks like. Cucks managed to steal Satyr Hellcaller top, and that is a lot of experience for him. Already hitting level 3. Jakiro still level 1. Prophet just jungling, not really doing anything. Build-wise, he's maxing Nature's Call first, pretty standard. Wants to be able to push as well as just jungle more efficiently, using that mana as well as he can. I'm curious what his build will be. That'll tell us a lot about how Make Dream want to play this game. If we see something like an Urn or even a Mech Brush, probably looking to be more aggressive. And of course, if we see the Midas or something just a little bit more farm-oriented, probably trying to head more into the mid to late game. So nothing shown just yet. Mirana farming. Look at this lane push with all the pulls. Farming in between the tier 2 and the tier 1 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually okay for them to have the lane pushed out a bit. Maybe Queen of Pain gets a level or 2, but it's worth it to use these pulls to get Tidehunter as well as Rubik some levels, some farm. If they just keep in the lane static forever and ever, the supports fall too far behind. So it's a bit of a trade-off. They want to try to deny as much as possible when they do pull, but giving Queen of Pain some levels here and there isn't going to be a major issue for them, as, I mean, their side lane is getting plenty of farm. They just have to make sure all their supports are getting some decent farm as well, and that's what Make Dream are making sure of. I mean, they've got Nature's Prophet in the jungle, and Jakira at top lane sharing the XP with the Leshrac a lot, so it looks like they actually want to go push. They've grouped up, Nature's Prophet comes
bottom
in,
lane.
Oh
no, this is bad. Telekinesis into the arrow, Starfall as well, and the Anchor Smash, plus the Gush. The full barrage of spells used, and they get the first blood on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, up top, Leshrac now has the level 2 Edict, the level 2 Split Earth, and like you mentioned, the Prophet joins that fight. Now they can look to push. In fact, the Ice Path will hit, the Dual Breath following up, but already level 5 for this Broodmother. Getting a ton of levels, in spite of the fact that she might lose her tower. This almost works into her favor, because she'll be able to just farm a little bit more safely. They get some golden experience on the Dire, not a bad trade by any means, but pushing the Broodmother's lane early means she can farm more safely, and then also get some momentum going. Jun H zoning her out of the lane, and they will get the tier 1. So early tier 1 top traded for a first blood bottom. Decent trade for both teams, but I feel right now it is Sequential Gaming getting a little bit more out of these trades.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they've got their main hero, Mirana, who's a better late game hero, better carry, and to me, we're going to see, it's going to come down to these solo mid heroes. I mean, we haven't really watched it much, there isn't much action going on there, but once they hit level 6, level 7, they get a useful rune. They're going to be ganking these side lanes, and that's where sort of the flow of the game is going to change. Because right now, both teams making trades which is somewhat favorable for them. sqL are going to make the first sort of big move. They've smoked up the Tide and the Rubik, potentially going towards that middle lane. They need to catch Panda before he hits level 6, and they may be there just a little bit too late if they're not careful.
I'm not sure about this attack vector that they're taking. I'm not sure it's going to work, but maybe... Oh, he just hits level 6. Rubik telekinesis back in. Maybe they can force out a bad ult. Well, not sure if it's bad. We'll see in a moment's time here. They're going to stun off the Tide, chasing aggressively, not using the Storm Panda, finally thrown up in the air. Now dispelled immediately. A second boulder toss. They get 1 kill. Panda ult just for 1. Not too bad, but it might be a double. Prophet goes down. K-Phoenix turning that around. And now the Panda caught out. Still chasing. Dream Coil gets dropped, trying to bottle up through this. Rubik on the high ground, kiting, but now being chased down. Those phase boots, 1 chop, 2 chops, and the nunchuck will bring him down. No mana for the 3rd clap, or he could maybe even turn this around if he gets real lucky with this drunken baller. But this should be a kill onto him. No, actually running one way, then back the other. K-Phoenix gives up the chase, and in the end, Brewmaster is going to live through that. Scores now 2-2. As far as golden experience goes, we are seeing a pretty big experience lead for the Radiant. Again, it's this Broodmother getting a lot, and the Queen of Pain getting nothing. Gods, we saw a little bit of action with the 2 solo mids. I gotta say, it's still looking good for sequential after that.
It still is, and fumoffu with this early Midas pickup is going for super carry Mirana, more or less. Probably wants to, transition to some DPS item here, and this is going to be a DPS Mirana. So, at the moment, yeah, I agree. sqL with slightly better trades, most notably because of the Brood, who's actually level 7 at the top lane. He's higher level than the solo mid Puck, so Puck's just going to be looking to roam around the map, probably even get a few more levels so he can get the higher points in the Waning Rift, get that silence coming into play. But sqL, they're doing well so far. Tidehunter a bit under level, but that's something which they can easily fix over time.
And just doing the constant pulls, it's doing a single pull and then pulling into a stack camp a lot of times. This time it's just a double single pull, which sounds very odd when I say it that way. There you go. Top lane, Broodmother at this point, hitting level 7, out-leveling the safe lane farm Leshrac, and this is sort of that downside to killing off the tower early, as she got to get a couple more levels back over here. Very difficult to gank Broodmother in that position, and now level 7 can just spam those spiderlings. Soul Ring nerf, that is definitely a nerf to Broodmother indirectly, or somewhat directly you could almost say. It's one of her best items. But still able to spam spiderlings very frequently to a lot of harassment. And Leshrac played as a farmer, going for the Edict Split Earth build. Do we want to see him rotate? Are we content with him just farming top and letting Broodmother pretty much do her thing?
Yeah, I don't think Leshrac. Edict isn't going to be able to really net them any kills on this Brood. They need the setup stun. After their first 3 picks, when they had the Queen of Pain, the Nature's Prophet, and the Leshrac, they was like, okay, they need some setup stuns, like the DK, the Sand King. And against the Brood, without any of those stuns to lead things off with, it's going to be really hard to gank Brood unless they bring a lot of heroes, bring Dust, Sentries, and all the whole shebang. Because this Brood is going to be so elusive and so hard to kill with a Leshrac to try set things up. Maybe the Ice Path can make it happen, but it's not the easiest gank to execute. But they're going to give it a shot because they've got Dust, they've grouped up as 3 at top lane by the things.
Yeah, no, I agree. They are a bit lacking that initiation. It's going to come down to the Panda, who's getting pretty close to a blink. Look at this Ancient camp right now. This is too much for me. I feel this is overstacked, and I don't know how they kill this off until the late game, honestly. They don't have much physical damage. Prophet's Treants can tank a little bit. Edict does do some damage, but not much. And look at this, how low this farming Leshrac drops. Despite getting a lot of golden experience compared to other Leshracs, just to spawn Spiderling spam. Arrow's gonna hit on Jessica, and now fumoffu with a double starfall will get a solo kill, but the Gush ensures it. Stolen by T-Duck, but really you don't want her to blink away. Great drop there. The trade coming in top, perhaps. Looks like the creep wave. Nice positioning from Jone. He's trying to make sure Edict only hits the tower. They should be able to bring this tier 2 down. Tier 2, most likely being claimed, but again, Queen of Pain dying and fumoffu getting a really strong start. Mirana, not the best sort of hard carry as far as her abilities go. She doesn't scale particularly well, although she has a 600 ranged hero with a mobility skill, so not bad in that department. But with the Midas and this kind of a start, leading the way for net worth, and she's not up against the hard carry in the enemy squad. It's looking good for fumoffu at this point, I think is the way to put it.
Yeah, and picking Mirana as a hard carry over other hard carries, it's much more aggressive in the landing stage. You've got such nice actual burst damage coming from the Starstorm as well as the arrow, so it actually allowed them to get kills on this Queen of Pain, whereas maybe another carry would not have done so. So it's worked out for sqL so far. They lose the 2 top towers, but I mean, that's kind of what you expect against this Make Dreams lineup. I mean, they're getting good trades out of it. They're not too worried, especially in terms of experience. They're pretty far ahead here. The gold's quite even as a result of the additional tower taken by Make Dream, but now the group up at mid. Make Dream just want to keep pushing towers one by one.
Oh, Panda gets thrown back into the tower. Will there be a Dream Coil to force out this ult? There will. He's got a split now. He will do so, and then they immediately retreat. Rubik is going to hit level 6, I believe, in a few seconds. Now diving onto the Tide. There is no Ravage, but the Boulder Toss taking forever. I think he's only going to get one off for this entire ult duration. Cyclone now onto the puck, just not able to really combo their abilities the way they would like to do so. And now fumoffu finally shows up. He's out for blood. He wants some kills. Arrow flies in. Not going to hit on Leshrac, but a Panda ult basically wasted there. That's unfortunate. Nice abuse of Fog. Summer now running. The Orb's going to connect. Jaunting on in. Phoenix chasing for this. Haste on the Panda. Clapping. Trying to slow things down. Rubik is still not level 6. I think he could have just stolen the Panda ult if he was. Now he's 6. And that means life just got a little bit trickier for this Panda. And of course, guys, when you go for a team fight, when you go to push on one side of the map, Broodmother is going to be there on the top lane. And there's a tier 1 being picked up. Still sequential gaming, handling all these fights pretty well.
Yeah, sequential gaming, making trades happen all over the map. I mean, they're Brood with the tier 1 tower, starting to build towards that Orchid now. And yeah, Vodki now with the level 6 on the Rubik is going to be very, very annoying. And that's a hero that, I mean, the Panda's the main one you have to be careful. But I mean, a lot of these spells, I mean, if stolen, Ice Path costs 75 mana, has a very short cooldown. That's something which Rubik could definitely make use of. Leshrac Edict, Prophet Ultimate, Queen of Pain, Scream, any of those. Queen of Pain, Blink. I mean, this is a great game for Rubik to be stealing some spells here, as sqL, though, they're not looking to make too much happen for now. They probably want that Tide level 6, not to mention fumoffu quite content to keep farming. As we'll probably see Tide just sort of try to look for a lane where it can get that XP to get into level 6 and get that Ravage up.
And, you know, the sequential game, I'm really glad you brought up the Ice Path, because they have so many abilities to set it up and ensure it hits properly. You have the Telekinesis, you have the Dream Coil, Ravage, of course, and Tide is only level 4. I would really like to see him get a solo lane at this point. I feel getting Ravage up, and then they can easily win fights against MD, unless there's a really good Panda ult. In the middle lane, he's getting close to the Blink. That's going to help him a lot. I feel you blink and you clap the Rubik most likely, and then just focus him down before he's able to, before your ult ends, and then he won't be able to steal that Panda split. Not doing so just yet. Jessica slowly catching up. He does hit level 5. Skipping Strato Strike makes a lot of sense. You're not going to be able to harass in that tri-lane he's up against. So just going for the mid-game burst. This will also help them clear out the spider lanes, but you compare the two off lanes, and it's not even close. Broodmother is the second most farmed hero in the game with a net worth of 4,700, as well as a level 10. Queen of Pain, 1,750, and only level 5. Has stacked these Ancients, but just what can you do with these? I mean, you kill one, maybe for every 2 or 3 times you go here. Over the course of a minute, you kill up one dragon. This is not exactly efficient.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, he's stacked it. I mean, this is, as you say, late game. Maybe they can be taking it out, but by then, if sqL are ahead and have map control, that could be just gold going the way of sqL. With Mirana, Tidehunter using Anchor Smash, they can maybe try to steal some of that. We will see mid. K Phoenix needs to be careful. He's going to try to orb his way out of there. That new Ice Path, I mean, you talk about setting it up, but I feel like it's harder to miss than it is to hit, unlike the old Ice Path, which was just so damn slow. Oh,
Dream Coil is going to catch out too. Aaron trying to pop his ult. He will. T-Duck still not level 6. Vodki next in line. Great Panda ult to start things off. Just trying to slow him down a tiny bit. Queen of Pain joins the fight as well. The split push is coming from fumoffu and Kux. Buybacks from Rubik, as well as the Prophet. So the push really being forced here mid. Maybe Rubik thought he could steal that ult from the Panda. I'm not sure why he bought back, to be honest. Not able to TP in. Has a smoke, not going to use it. They get the tier 1. A couple of kills as well, and they force a buyback, but they also spend one on their own. Loneliness with the double Gloves of Haste build. What is going on here? I guess he wants Midas and Treads, but he could have had the Midas by now.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a misclick there coming out from Loneliness. We will see Panda rotating towards top lane. I mean, they've got all these dusts, but one of the things, you can't just have dust against Brood. If you don't have the lockdown, Brood will just outrun you in web with all the bonus movement speed. So dust alone not going to be enough. Even the Prophet Sprout can't lock down Brood. If the web's not on cooldown, he can just pop the web, get out of the Sprout. So I feel their lineup doesn't have the heroes to deal with the Broodmother very well, and this was just a smart pickup for sequential gaming.
Yeah, it's not a hero we see go as a first pick because it can be countered quite hard, but you know, if you're able to slip it in later on in the draft, and then the Darkseer was banned, the Seike was banned, and they picked the Tide, those are the 3 main heroes to deal with it. Aaron has the Blink, something stolen by the Rubik, only the Thunderclap, but it is a level 4 Thunderclap. T-Duck, try to TP away, Jessica says, and picks that one up. Didn't need to use the ult there, but hey, gets a kill, and Jessica finally getting on the board. Arcane Boot secured. The tower gold is really the only way that he's getting any income. City on 13 CS, as well as finally picking up a kill there. 1 and 2 for him. They still haven't done anything to deal with this Brood, and, you know, Orchid is going to be very strong against Panda in team fights. Normally, we don't think of Brood as a great team fighter, but that or the Queen of Pain bottom lane, they jump in on Fumoffu. The Starfall doing a lot of work. Wouldn't you like to have that Sonic Wave now? Icy Path, or Ice Path just barely whiffing a second too late, and Fumoffu will TP away. Now the ultimate orb for him. So, guessing this will be a Manta style. Could maybe be a Lincoln Sphere, but Manta style should be pretty great this game.
Yeah, I mean, just start building towards that late game, start getting those damage items up. As T-Duck, he's about to hit that level 6 in these neutral camps as well, so we're going to see a Ravage now on the side of sqL, and that's kind of what they've been missing in these team fights. I mean, the last few fights or small-scale clashes, I mean, it's never really a big team fight with all the split push that sqL are trying to do, but they're always giving up a kill here or there. Brewmaster pops his ultimate, he's usually gotten a kill out of it. Tidehunter's gone down a couple times, but with the Ravage on the board, it's going to be a lot harder for Make Dreams to just keep taking these pickoffs.
Oh, Fumoffu right into that Ice Path, just barely. In fact, it stuns him as he leaps away. Yeah, you're right. It is much easier to hit now. You can definitely hit it by yourself. Doesn't require setup, but to hit a really nice one, it's nice to have things like telekinesis. Instead of just hitting one hero, maybe you can hit a couple.
Yeah.
Either way, they catch Mirana, but it just leaps away. There's no lockdown for this team right now. I guess the only lockdown comes from the Panda with the Blinken and then the Clap Boulder Toss. And then maybe in the mid-game, long arrow just missing John H. That could have been a disaster. Ice Path will connect. Phoenix drops the ult. Dream Coil now on 2. And then the Ice Path, I believe, just stolen. Summer is going to be slowly brought down by his own Ice Path. Now John H. trying to run away. Split Earth being dodged. Beautiful little play there from Fumoffu, but in comes Queen of Pain. And she should be able to kill him. This is going to be a ton of experience for her. Meanwhile, Prophet kills off the Tidehunter. Blinken into the Scream. Leap will not be able to dodge that. And Jessica jumps up to level 8, close to level 9. Really important kill. Vodki maybe looks to steal this Panda ult. Now there's a gem up on him. Remember, he hasn't clapped yet since using the ult. Vodki could steal it. Blinken clap, assassinated. And Loneliness buys back, I believe, again. No, sorry, he got the kill on the Tidehunter this time. And then he lives on top of it. But top lane, Broodmother threatening the base, level 12. It feels like for sequential gaming, you can kill off or slow down a couple of these heroes, but good luck stopping them all at once.
Yeah, it's not going to come down to winning those team fights. It's going to come down to dealing with all the threats all over the map. Brood has just been playing a solo-style game. I mean, you can see Brood's just continually pressure their lane. Sometimes you see him once they pick up and group up with their team. Kux has decided right now his team don't need him to fight. Is Brood's not going to really contribute much when there's this Panda ultimate on the field, not to mention Panda with the gem. Panda's level 11. He's really been the one carrying MD through these fights, but it's gonna be hard for him, especially if he's not careful with this Brood with an Orchid. If Brood decides to come along, Brood now 2k gold, maybe gonna start building towards that BKB.
Yeah, could definitely be BKB. Manta style always gonna be great on her to remove things like dust. Now there is a gem for the moment. Guessing it's been spotted out at this point. Hastern on the twin-headed dragon. Ice Path comes in. Phoenix walks into it, but not really a big deal. And Vodki, well, he wants to steal a spell. He's got a smoke. They're gonna foray into the enemy jungle. Rather aggressive, I must say, with so many heroes missing off the map. Sequential gaming is nothing if not aggressive, though. They're going to start farming the enemy jungle, the orb now, and it's going to drop in, pick up the regen rune. Phoenix has the blink as well. Great item to pick up on Puck. Blink Silence, another way to try and shut down heroes like the Panda, as well as the Queen of Pain. And it's going to be Blink Wars. I feel whoever gets the jump in these fights is probably going to come out ahead. Tidehunter is level 7. He's got the Ravage online. Haven't really seen a great Ravage, and interestingly, he's TP'd by Loneliness. Rather bold, but there are 4 heroes backing him up, and they're just sequential gaming is going to choose to back off. Fumoffu creates a little tree trap for himself. He could TP out, but he doesn't want to. Was he spotted by this dire ward? No, I think they might have seen him leap in, but they don't know if he's still there. And now he draws the middle finger on the map. Some real sass here from Fumoffu. And I don't know that the organizers of the Chinese casters are pleased by that one, but heck, it's pretty entertaining for us.
It sure is. Showing a bit of character, showing a bit of personality. Fumoffu, I mean, he's played a fantastic game so far. Just the one slide over extension in a previous team fight where he did go down, but he's up to past 100 creep kills now, getting close to that Manta style. Kux over at the top lane, similar story with him. 130 creep kills just about, 2.5k gold. I mean, this is just great farm distribution. Even the Puck is approaching that 100 CS mark, whereas if you look at the dire side, after the Brewmaster, there's not much left. I mean, the safe lane Leshrac is still sitting on 60 creeps. He's trying to build up a Bloodstone, but he's still a bit of a way away from that.
Oh, they smoked and they broke through the high ground. They did not get spotted or dispelled on their way here. Vodki sees John H, and he gets revealed right as the Mirana ult goes off. They want to use that to get in close, put the silence onto Aaron. Want to bring him down before that Panda ult gets dropped. Does he have buyback? If not, this is probably going to be a very bad fight for them. Ravage not used either, though, and so the two big team fight ults off the board immediately. Oh man, kind of anticlimactic in that respect. Not sure we'll see any more kills, but meanwhile, fumoffu just pushing in that bottom lane unchecked, and whether it's Brood or whether it's the Mirana, someone is constantly applying pressure to these lanes. Very aggravating, I feel, for Make Dream.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, they're just getting pulled around, and that's where those smoke gangs for sqL can really be beneficial. When all these heroes are split around the map, they can find those pickups. They found Brewmaster there. Tidon is still, I feel like I don't know if we've even seen a Ravage yet this game. He's had a bit of a tough time finding the position to do so. Brewmaster, one of the best heroes to have against a Tidon. You can see why it is here, but the rest of Make Dream, I mean, Queen of Pain a bit underfarmed. I mean, Nature's Prophet getting there with this Midas. Queen of Pain actually looks to be building, I mean, possibly a Bloodstone with the Arcane Boots and the Point Booster, or maybe just an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, you know, it could definitely be either one. Aghanim Scepter can be a very powerful item on Queen of Pain, but generally we see players get it. And same for the Bloodstone, too. These are items you get when you have a strong, powerful start. Now, the Point Booster provides you with a lot of HP and mana, which is pretty good in its own right, pretty cost-effective just as an individual item pickup. Panda wants to blink in, Clap has to focus down the Rubik first, and he knows it. Boulder toss onto him. Vodki should be dead here. Gem is on him as well. Panda wants his gem back, which was stolen in the last fight. Vodki trapped between a rock and an icy path, and he will go down. And they're just going to back off after that. So a Panda kill, a Panda ult just for Rubik, but they get the gem back. I think that one's going to be worth it, or I believe they get it back. No, was it killed by the Radiant? Did they kill the gem? Did the Dire kill
I can't see the gem on any of these heroes. I mean, it doesn't look like the Dire picked it up or anything. It's been destroyed, or it's sitting around somewhere on the ground, which it's not. So, looks like it's been destroyed. So, it's going to be on cooldown for a while, I think, now for the Dire team.
And that's a concern when you're up against... It's not just the Brood that you have this gem for. It's the map control and then also the Mirana ult. If they can just pop a Mirana ult at the right time, get the Tidehunter and the Puck into good position, there's no real way to spot that out at the moment, especially with the loss of towers, limiting their vision. Dust gets popped on the Brood, but there is a BKB, so I'm not sure they can find this kill. Maybe just trying to force that out. Blink in, Clap. Now the BKB popped. Will they still give chase? They want to, but the Dust is gone now, and I'm not sure they can continue this. In fact, 5 heroes grouped up top. Prophet joins in as well. Curious what he's doing item-wise, or how he's doing item-wise. Mechanism coming soon. That'll be helpful against sequential gaming, but really not that much farm on this Prophet, especially considering he did go back for the Midas.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can see Make Dream there. As soon as they lose that gem, they buy 2 sets of Dust, tried to group up gate the Brood, but Brood gets away. And I mean, Brood, if you live, well, you suddenly heal up almost instantly. You can pop your ultimate.
Prophet.
Oh man, Nature's Prophet gets found and assassinated. If you're scared of big spiders, this is one to be scared of. Cuck so far has had a pretty decent game, and I mean, he's just going to keep on fighting this top lane. They just can't push him out of it. They can't kill him.
You're scared of big spiders. This is a creature out of a horror movie. I imagine Broodmother like the size of my room, which is easily sized as well. But Blinken on the John H, they want to bring him down. Remember, this Leshrac was played as a carry, but just not having the impact. There's your Ravage, finally connecting pretty well. Took a while, but T-Duck delivers. Queen of Pain ult completely airballed, not going to hit anything, and now Summer caught out. He'll go down. Panda jumps in, Clap onto. T-Duck still surviving. The same for K-Phoenix. Prophet TP's on forward. Meanwhile, Brood catching out the Queen of Pain. One by one, these heroes getting caught out, and Loneliness will be next in line. Not even going to be able to kill off Vodki. Oh, that's got to hurt. Panda ult wasn't available there, and it's a level 4 teleport stolen. Now you can teleport into the telekinesis. Some great mobility for this team. Plus, he's almost got either a 4-step or something like a Blink Dagger if he wants to go for it. So between that and teleport, nowhere is really safe. If this game even lasts long enough, because sequential gaming have now breached the high ground. Blinken, Clap, Panda ult, and T-Duck should not survive. The boulder toss on him, bringing him down. Fumoffu with the Manta style picked up, leaping away for the moment. Panda ult, again, only finding 1 kill. They really need to make more out of this. Boulder toss, they didn't have vision of Brood, so that's not actually going to connect. Or K-Phoenix going to be able to run away. Looks like a lot of damage on the Brute, but just not cleared off. And another nice arrow, this time hitting on the Queen of Pain, or excuse me, on the Prophet. Prophet dropping low, and just a cleanup duty now for Fumoffu. Leaping in, killing off Loneliness. Leshrac trying to do the damage here. The Panda ult was stolen by Rubik in the middle of this fight. J gonna drop as well, taking a lot of damage, and he gets killed off. A disaster of a fight. Make Dream on the ropes right now.
Absolutely, their backs against the wall, and they're just getting taken down one by one. I mean, Fumoffu's finally showing up with items as well. Mantis Style, Shreds, Midas. He's got 3.5k gold on top of it, so he can start building whatever next damage items he wants. Butterfly, Maelstrom, whatever it may be. Maybe an MKB even, to deal with this Panda. And we're going to see Kaxo. He's going to get initiated on the top, but there's no sentries, no dust at the time being, even though that does land. But Kaxo's going to be okay here, and sqL, they're just going to regroup.
Ravage is up in 30 seconds. It's kind of surprising. That's how long that confrontation was. First started off in the jungle, then towards the top lane. They do defend Rex. They hold on to at least that for the moment. My concern for MD, we talked about their lack of lockdown. They need items to win these fights. I really think they need a Hex on the Prophet, the Queen of Pain. At least getting the mechanism would be nice. They finally have it on Loneliness, but it's kind of a late mech. And honestly, he could just be burst down instantly and either forced to use a bad mech or not even get it off. At this point, I think you have to find a way to get up multiple hexes, maybe get the Panda Aghanim's, although at this, if Rubik steals the ult again, he does benefit from an Ag's upgrade, so he's probably happy that Panda is spending his gold in this regard, as the point booster is picked up by him.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward scenarios where you don't want the stronger ultimate as a Rubik. We saw it yesterday as well. It was like the Coddle and the Earthshaker. They didn't want to get more XP because the only way they were staying in the game was by Coddle and the Keeper of the Line and the Earthshaker being low level and quickly respawning, so they could continually spam. But
Loneliness TP's in, but Queen of Pain on the same page. There's the ult. Fumoffu trying to live. He's gonna get this kill. No, just barely surviving. T-Duck hits Ravage. Will he pop it? Could have hit there, but doesn't want to chance it. Not really worth the Ravage, to be honest. It is their big team fight ult, so hey, hold on to it. Speaking of that, the Rubik Panda ult has almost cooled down, and he's got a Blink, so they're going to have a Blink Primal split plus a Ravage. Some amazing team fight here for Sequential Gaming for, I guess, what is it, the next 120 seconds, or sorry, we're coming up in 20 seconds, so we're going to have about 100 seconds or so where you can look to use this.
Yeah, he's still got a bit of a while left with that spell still, so, I mean, it's at least, well, I think it's only going to be one team fight where he has it again, but that one team fight is going to be pretty scary looking. For sqL with a Tide Ravage. Mirana probably going to buy another big item now with his 4k gold, or at least start building one as sqL. Maybe we're going to consider about taking Roshan.
Yeah, they are on the Radiant side, this team, and it's a little bit hard to take, but Brood is the perfect ally when you want to go for Roshan. Constantly pressuring that top lane, drawing heroes away from the Roshan pit, over towards that lane, and then as soon as they rotate up top, you can just safely head into the pit and look to pick it up. So I like the Brood in this situation as far as setting up the Roshan. And Make Dream just positionally very much on the back foot, really not able to leave their base too much at this point. The wards being placed, good offensive warding from Sequential Gaming to really help secure the map control. And it seems, again, Sequential Gaming showing some patience, showing some poise, and really not forcing anything. Hex coming up soon for the puck. Vodki now going back for a 4-staff, I believe. It could be even a Necro 3 or Yule Scepter. I feel those would also be great items to have in this game. They're going to start working on Roche. Broodmother's actually rotating towards the pit. Not sure this is her best location. Not sure that she can make her biggest impact here, but we'll see. The Orchid will be very nice against Panda. Ag's complete on that Panda. And, well, they're not going to take Roche just yet. At least not without finding a pick. The arrow searching, not going to find anyone. Panda backing off. Both teams sort of in and out, but nobody committing just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's working in sqL's favor, even without an engagement. They may want to while they still have the Panda ultimate, which is actually, no, actually, it looks like it's worn off. Oh no, he
Panda on Panda action. T-Duck dropping low. They want to prevent this Ravage. There's a boulder toss in 1 second, but too damn slow. Gets fogged. Not going to be able to find that, and now the arrow coming through, hitting Loneliness is going to go down, not able to escape. Panda ults both being used by both sides. Did Rubik steal anything just yet? No. He could maybe look to re-steal it, but you have to steal something else first. Or no, he is going to get it again. No, it's the... He dies before he can use it. Big kill there by Queen of Pain. Jessica getting a double kill. The arrow flies out, disjoining the spawn Spiderlings as well. The two carries have not been dealt with yet, but what a play by this Queen of Pain, who had one of the most difficult starts to the game we've seen in a long time from an offlane hero. Making a massive play there, denying that secondary primal split. If Rubik got off 2 Panda ults in 1 fight, I don't know if Dream could have handled that again. Oh man, what a play.
How do you, I mean, one Panda ult is bad enough for Rubik, but 2 in 1 fight, holy crap. And Jessica, I mean, yeah, like you say, I mean, recovering from that bad start, I mean, as far as farm goes, it's not fantastic, but the Aghanim Scepter is going to be up at about 40 gold here. Not to mention, I mean, has only had 3 deaths, I mean, since that early deficits, and they're coming back from it slowly. They're not completely out of this, but with some of these items, I mean, slowly getting built, Nature's Prophet, Midas Mech Treads, I mean, only 1k gold now, but we'll probably want to start building towards a sheep stick. It's still looking possible for Make Dream.
I think possible is the right word. It's definitely, it's still Fumoffu again with the leaps. Oh, where's the middle finger on the map? Come on, Fumoffu, let's see it. Let's see some cheeky little play, but he's going to Manta out of that. Nicely done by him. Just not Fumoffu and his leaps this game. I feel there should be a bit of a Reddit thread going about him after the series. MKB is going to be up. He is by far out farming the enemy squad, and so too is the Broodmother. Hex is an item that can deal with even very farm carries, but they're a long way off from those hexes, and so I think possible is the right way to describe the situation.
Yeah. And I mean, there we go. sqL pick up some big items. We've got Fumoffu, he's bought his MKB. Brood's just 800 gold away from his own Monkey King bar. So the Panda Evasion as well as the Drunken Haze is going to be rendered useless on those 2 heroes, and that's going to make it a lot harder for Make Dream in these team fights.
And Broodmother's now building towards a data list, or maybe an MKB. MKB probably the way to go, just to deal with that Panda's Evasion as well as the Drunken Haze. Mirana TP's in bottom. They still haven't gotten the tier 1 bottom, which is giving the Radiant a bit better access towards the Roshan pit, also giving them more space to farm. Aggressive play from Phoenix, who does have a Haster and the Blink Dagger. He's getting close to a Hex of his own. That'll be a great utility item for this team. So set up that Mirana damage, but blink it, clap to start, phase shift is available. There's your Haster getting popped and the lack of lockdown. If you have a Burrow Strike here, something to set up that fight, I think you do get that kill, but just the lack of stuns hurting them a bit. And the TP out by the Radiant. Look at all these wards towards the Roshan. Aaron has another gem. And apparently it was actually Rubik who killed off the gem, dropped it and killed it before he died. A very nice little tactic to use. If you know you're going to die, you don't want to give a gem to the enemy team. But they've got another one, and hopefully Make Dream can hold on to this one this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the key thing here. I mean, they've got a level 16 Panda ultimate with Ags. I mean, the other big thing for them is to not let that get stolen by Rubik. So maybe he has to focus on... Oh,
Oh, big fight breaking out. T-Duck Ravage connecting onto Anchor Smash afterwards. Blinking, absolute chaos in this fight. Dreamcoil catches everyone. Nice Queen of Pain ult stolen by the Rubik. Big damage. Only 1 hero dead because the Prophet buys back. That is basically 3 heroes dead. Plus a buyback if you want to factor it out that way. Jessica running for his life. Panda on the retreat. Vodkeep desperately wants to steal this Primal Split, but it's going on forever. This is a Panda with an Aghanims. It basically never ends. The Pandas, they just keep on coming. He will bring him down. He's probably going to die here, though. Queen of Pain jumps in. They still haven't dealt with the Mirana. The Broodmother's still alive as well. The 2 big damagers. That's another kill. Panda blinks out as soon as the Primal Split ends. At least he's not giving away the ult again. That is something to be sure. But here comes the push top as well as the push bottom. And they don't have the bodies to deal with this right now.
Yeah, no bodies, no Panda ultimate. Panda's the only one alive for the next couple of seconds. Jakiro's back now, but he's not going to offer much. Maybe he can stall Macropyre is back up, but he can dish out some AoE. I feel that they're just tanky enough to sort of shrug it off. Fumoffu and Kux just doing so much right-click damage here with the Brood, the Mirana. And this is probably going to be a first set of racks going the way of sqL.
If that, blinking by the Panda again, clap. He's still got about a minute to go before he can use his ult again. But look at the Leshrac damage, bringing down the Tidehunter. Puck running for his life. Broodmother behind enemy lines, just doing all the damage in the world. The silence on the Panda as well. They don't really need it, I feel. Fumoffu drops low, but he lives. They just don't have the finishing power. Don't do it, Loneliness. Don't do it. But maybe this will work out. No, they're all just going to run away. This team's so damn elusive, so difficult to track down. Kux is going to survive. Jessica smoked up just to get out quicker to this fight. Bodki wants to steal something. Steals out the Prophet ult. I believe Jessica blinks forward. Has that Shadow Strike available. Is he going to be able to get in range? He is not. Vodki stealing the teleport. I thought he was going for the Panda ult there. But Darren was already back at base, so not going to find it.
Yeah, he's got this teleport, which isn't... I mean, it's a cute little spell to have, but I don't think it's going to help him all that much. He'd rather have a nuke, a disable, or the big Panda ultimate. But for now, he's going to just TP himself around the map. I mean, he's applying the pressure. He's acting like a brute at the top lane. He's going to get jumped on by the Brew Master here, but it looks like he should be okay.
Yeah, for the moment he'll be okay, but being driven back quite a bit. It's a problem when that support trialing Rubik can solo push. That is a
Yeah.
big problem for your team, and that's the
Who
point.
needs Brood? He's the new Brood. Rubik with teleport. There we go.
Yeah, just copy and paste Rubik's face on top of the Brood body. That would actually be a hideous creature. Oh man, you talked about nightmares. That's giving me some. Boots of Travel up on the Brood. That's the item choice. So just adding to the split push, adding the mobility of this team, and there's some cute combos with this. You can send the Spiderlings journey around the map, and then TP the big spider on top of Mama Spider onto the babies. Not sure how it works in sort of theory crafting, but it does. Fumoffu, they're initiating on the splitter that's gonna hit, and I think this might be a kill to silence. But Fumoffu bringing him down. That's a huge kill to start this fight off. Bad sloppy positioning, getting caught out, and also just great play by Make Dream to make that kill happen. Unfortunately, it's only one, and the Brood pushing top. It's so hard for this team not only to get the kills, but then to convert them into a greater objective, like the Roshan, like these towers. Still standing as the tier 2 mid, as well as the tier 1 and tier 2 bottom. Just a very annoying lineup from Sequential Gaming, but they get a big kill on Fumoffu. That's really going to help them out and slow him down.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, they get a kill like that, but then they can't get something too significant to get them further along. And we're going to see SQL. I mean, they don't even take much damage on this tier 2 tower. I mean, it gets down to about below 300 HP, but Make Dreams, they don't take it down. They don't get Roshan. An important kill on Fumoffu, but a kill that they don't convert into much because of this pressure in top lane, because of the continual split push coming out of SQL, which, I mean, it's really hard to deal with.
And the golden experience difference is really starting to show at this point. Sequential Gaming way ahead in both departments. Crystal is now picked up. A Glass Cannon Mirana, you know, honestly a BKB would probably just ensure that he never dies in a fight, but he wants all the damage in the world. He wants the big crits, and he certainly got it. I don't think this is the optimal item, but you can try and burst down here like Panda before he's able to pop his ult, so in that sense, maybe will work out pretty well. It's very defensive posture for Make Dream, and it looks like Sequential Gaming wants to capitalize. This one is spotted by a ward. What does Rubik have as this fight will be breaking out soon? Just teleport, but could TP top. Maybe look to do a little bit of pressure. For the moment, he's going to rotate in mid. They have a ward. They're about to smoke up for Make Dream, it looks like. Or are they? No, they're just sitting defensively here in the base. They have to know the Roshan is happening. And it's going to go down very quickly with this DD on Fumoffu. Fighting into this DD Mirana. Going to be almost impossible to win this fight, but they're going to try. The Treants get summoned, and they might be able to start this fight off. Aaron trying to jack the Aegis. Too late, though. Ice Path is going to hit 3. Doesn't really matter. And they should be backing off now. I don't think Make Dream want to take this fight outside of their base.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be them. They want to sit and turtle in their base for as long as possible. They're still sort of hovering around, but SQL are just going to look to march, stick together, go for another big team fight. They've got the Tide Ravage. They've got them. Well, they haven't actually got the Moran ultimate yet, but they'll have that in just a second, and then they can look to find a fight on their own terms.
The Glass Cannon build feels a lot better when you have an Aegis, because you can do a bunch of damage, die, and then come back and do it all over again.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, he's still a bit away from his Daedalus, but he's doing a lot of damage as it is, and I mean, over on the Dire side, they just don't have anything comparable. Prophet's actually going for DPS, picked up a Mithril Hammer, so we'll see how that works for him.
Big fight breaking out bottom lane. Ravage is going to hit Panda as well as Prophet. Can they bring this Panda down in time? He's got the ult, just not really able to find the perfect opening. Queen of Pain, nice scream. Is it stolen by Rubik? Not yet, just took the clap. 3-second cooldown before he can use that one again. Blink in by Panda, clap onto Fumoffu. Remember, he's got the Aegis. Brood is pushing top all the while, so I think they have to back soon. They are going to bring down the Aegis, but now they've got to kill him again. Ice Path catching out nobody. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Now Fumoffu runs the other way. It's a merry-go-round for him. Just trying to stall here. High ground is breached. Kux is going to bring down the tier 3. The fight's still going on bottom lane. Fumoffu's still running, trying to survive, dropping extremely low. Meanwhile, the Jakiro going to fall as well. So Fumoffu goes down, Jakiro the counter kill, and then it looks John H is going to barely escape with his life. Aaron TP's top. And honestly, Kux could just kill him now if he wanted to, at least force out that ult. The silence available, not using it, gets the racks, and Kux is just going to back on out. Just a good execution. Does this Brood have a blink? This is a blink Brood. Now we've seen it all. But hey, it helps you to push a little bit. So some cheeky little play from Kux here.
Yeah, it can help him push, help him latch onto some of these heroes. I mean, maybe chasing down heroes like Queen of Pain when they blink away. I mean, you've got the Orca, but it may not be enough on its own. And I mean, Kux, I mean, he's just so mobile now that he can just do absolutely anything he wants. It looks like SQL are content to try push down this bottom lane, chip away at Rexes, and
oh no.
Man.
Brewmaster assassinated, and the ult gets stolen by Rubik. What a play by Vodki. to set that up, and even dropped an ice path of his own to initiate that. So beautiful play by him, using one spell that he stole from an enemy, getting the Panda ult, and then probably going to look to go back in here momentarily. Blink in, Dream Coil on 2. Phoenix might die for this, but he's happy to do so. There's your Panda ult going the other way. Panda on Panda brutality, and Aaron will be brought down by a Panda of his own creation. Now comes the BKB Leshrac. Earth Panda doesn't care. BKB Broodmother doesn't care. And this Leshrac is just going to have to hope it on out of there. K-Phoenix trying to get some more kills. Still alive in this fight. Cannot really believe that. Now the Scythe device. Phase shift in 1 second. Finally brought down. Broodmother still surviving. The Ags was back online. Used one air bolted earlier. This one is going to connect. Jessica getting a kill, but they've already exposed the second lane of Rax. And they still have that Brewmaster ult cooling down for Rubik. So it's looking pretty good right now for Sequential Gaming. Fumoffu is going to rejoin the fight. Buybacks from Leshrac, as well as the Brood. Jessica and Rubik blinks it. Doesn't want to wait for that ult. Is just going to go ahead and steal off Blink. Nice ability to pick up. Jun H dropping low. Jun H, one more auto attack. Rubik snipes that kill. 4 staff away. Could look to do that, but no, gonna blink on out of there using that Queen of Pain ability. Now Summer trying his best to stall. The arrow is gonna hit. Jessica, the ult cooling down in 1 second. Once Fumoffu. Will he find him? Broodmother kills Jakiro. The Queen of Pain ult again, just barely missing. Oh, Blink, Fumoffu with the magic feet, just running circles around Jessica, and might even come back in for another kill here in a moment's time. Wants to go in Summer. You know he wants to go back in. This is Fumoffu after all. And that is going to be a beautiful arrow and a kill. Absolutely flummoxed is Jessica at this point. Can't really blame him, but just a frustrating game for him.
Less than 100 HP, no problem for Fumoffu. He's happy to look to go right back in, and now Nature's Prophet is going to find himself fighting Fumoffu.
He's toying with
Nature's Prophet. Oh.
This cat just has the mouse in her teeth, just choosing not to chomp down for a moment's time there. Then pops the man, says, "Okay, I'm gonna eat you now." And well, that's exactly what he did. That big cat, pretty enormous. 2,400 gold up on him, getting very close to the Daedalus, I assume. Got the Demon Edge, still has to get the recipe, but really doesn't need it. He's already doing all the damage in the world. And with 2 lanes of Rax down, as well as just the constant split push pressure, the superior items, the superior team fight, because Rubik is always stealing something good at this point with all these utility items. It feels like Make Dream are pretty much at their wits' end. Blinking by Panda, Clap as well, wants to bring down T-Duck, kill off the Tidehunter, that's nice, but you still got to deal with the rest of the squad. Marana is back, not even in this fight. The Ravage is going to be dropped. Jessica dropping low. Jessica will fall down. BKBs everywhere, but Leshrac's BKB, as well as Broods, are both going to wear off, and they kill off the Brood. Fighting without Fumoffu, a bit of a blunder here. Blink away from Vodka, and now the 4 staff away too. Blink Dagger cooling down. Blink cooling down. Prophet TPing in. Behind, but unfortunately for him, the Rubik went back in. Phoenix is going to do a little bit of stalling here. Vodka, Prophet in the end. TP'd back to base after the initiation. In fact, I guess he just canceled the TP. Vodka, they can't kill him, and he's got the Panda ult again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, the number of times he's stolen at this game is just incredible. His positioning is always spot on. And I mean, it's a hard thing to do as a Panda. As soon as that ulti wears off, if Rubik's quick enough, I mean, the clap cast animation is not going to save you. Rubik can do it instantly, whereas that clap does have that cast time, and we're seeing that here. As Vodki always able to get there in time with the blink, the 4 staff, the Yules. He's got great mobility, great survivability as well. And I mean, here we go. He wants to go, and he wants Nature's Prophet. He gets Nature's Prophet, and he's not done.
Oh yeah, he still wants to fight. Jakiro would probably be the target here, but in fact, they're gonna go on to Leshrac and now force to back off. This Panda ult with Aghanim Scepter just lasts for ages, throwing one up in the air with the Cyclone. Great micro by this Rubik, really showing that he doesn't just play a few heroes. He knows how to play a more complicated micro-intense sphere like the Panda as well. Summer goes down, and now Vodki could look to steal something good. What does he get his hands on? It's going to be Split Earth. Nice little pickup there, but he should go down. The BKB from Leshrac being forced out. No, Yule Scepter up. Where's the blink away? He blinks away. What a juke. What a play. And now the wand. The 4-step too, but too much. The Scream will chase him down to the ends of the earth. Oh, they have to work so hard for these kills. This is not fair, man.
Every single one is just, yeah, it's running a marathon just for everyone. Jessica bottom, oh, in a bit of trouble. The Dream Call, blink out. Jessica goes down as well. Fumoffu finds himself another kill, and I mean, let's see if he can get out of this one. It looks like he should be fine to do so.
Good news for Make Dream. This Panda ult will not be stolen because, well, Panda might die to Marana, but also Rubik is dead. Cannot buy back into Boots of Travel. Leshrac Ghost Scepter and BKB, interesting combo, but still the Ghost Scepter wears off one auto attack from this Brood, hitting so freaking hard. Now with the Sacred Relic, not sure if this is an Abyssal Blade or more likely the ever illustrious Divine Rapier. They still haven't gotten the Mega Creeps, but it feels like they're just toying with Make Dream right now. Loneliness taking a ton of damage, leap in, goes on over the top, gets that kill, now has the Helm of the Dominator. That'll help him to survive in these fights. Arrow again connecting. Great setup with the Sight Device. 3 heroes dead. Dive that fountain. You know you want to. This is Fumoffu. Who are we kidding? Of course he's going to dive the fountain. The Ghost Scepter again, keeping him alive, but only for a moment. One more auto attack. Defiantly, Fumoffu is going to kill him off. John H dies in his own fountain. And now they're going to get the Mega Creeps. Or no, just go straight for the throne. And it looks like Sequential Gaming will be advancing ahead into that second round. If they win one more best out of 3, they will move on into the main event. Remember, these teams who advance through the winner's bracket, they have to win 2 best out of 3. Celebratory Ravage from T-Duck as the throne dies. Blink on in for the Panda, but the throne so low. They don't want the throne anymore. Now they want Aaron, who has ignited their attention. Finally, it gets killed off. Sequential Gaming, a team not really well known outside of the Southeast Asian scene, but having a nice performance here today. And I think for Make Dream, we talked about them being a bit of an unknown team. Not too many players that have really been heard of in the Chinese scene. And well, it looks like they have to go back to the drawing board, but at times here did give Sequential Gaming a fight. I certainly got to admire their fighting spirit. A lot of teams would have GG'd out 20, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely. They put up a hell of a fight. SQL, I mean, the more seasoned team and with a bit more experience under their belt. Not always the most consistent, but showing here some good decision making. I mean, especially game 1, they didn't rush things against the Tinker. There was moments where Fumoffu really pushed the lines with his hero, but I mean, overall they played well. I mean, the support play was there. As a team, it was just a great effort. They go up against EG in the next round, so it's going to be tough. And we'll see how they do there. The winner of that match qualifies for the main tournament. The loser is not out though. The loser will play a sort of a 3rd place deciding match to see if he can get versus the other loser of the semi-final. The winner of that match will qualify as the 3rd team into the G1 league. So a lot's at stake. I mean, this is a big tournament, and really excited to see another team from Oceania in there as well as Natural 9.
You know, godz has a soft spot in his heart for these teams from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little biased, but we love him all the same. That's going to do it for this series, ladies and gentlemen, but we are not done for the day. We will have another match coming up later today. That one is going to be NA facing off against Flash, a Chinese team facing off against a Singaporean team. Flash is a team relatively sort of new to Dota 2, and as a competitive team, haven't seen too much of them, but they've been getting some decent results. NA, a bit more known names have sort of filtered through the team here and there, so hopefully that one will be a little bit more even. Hopefully it'll go 3 games, but for now, that will wrap it up for this first game. We'll be coming back to you in, I believe, about an hour's time, unless we have an earlier start, but should be an hour's time for NA facing off against Flash. So stay tuned for that. You've been watching the G1 League. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com, and joining me, of course, is godz of GoSu Gamers. Together we're David and David. If you enjoyed the cast, don't forget you can always get the VODs by either following me or godz. They'll be on one of our YouTube channels, youtube.com/godzstudios or youtube.com/ldDOTA.